As we get set for the first playoff run in 11 years for the Edmonton Oilers, we bring in one of the catalysts from the 06 run, the last time the Oilers were in the postseason. Ethan Moreau, former captain. You spent over a decade with this franchise. You were a King Clancy Memorial Trophy winner as a leader. You did a lot for this community, and now you come back at the right time. Ethan, what's it like being back in Edmonton after being gone for a good number of years?
It's that time of year where you can tell the weather's changing and playoff hockey's around the corner. You can just sense as soon as you get off the plane, as soon as you're in the airport, you can sense the excitement of the city and how much pride they have in this team. And it's pretty cool to have my kids walk around the city and see people already driving around with the flags and honking. It's the same, I guess. What's
it like to reconnect with the Oilers? Because it's been a while. You went and played for Columbus for a bit, then Los Angeles, and then you retired. To come back here, and to some, it's a new start because this is a new building and a new era. What's it like for a guy coming back?
Yeah, this is pretty much the only place I played. I played very few games after I left here, and my time in Chicago I was just a kid. So this is the 90% of my career was here. My kids were raised here, so this was home for so long, and it's yeah, I'm like anybody else. I'm just excited at the prospect of having a team that can do what we didn't do, hopefully, and win the Stanley Cup. So it's just fun to have that past and have that history at the team and to watch it as a fan.
Are there similarities to the 06 team that you see in this team, or are there contrasts to that team in this team? How do you kind of assess that when you look at the two clubs from 06 to now?
Well, I think it's very different. I think the makeups are, we arguably have the best player in the world on this team. We had a kind of a collective bunch of really good players, so it's different. There's more high-end talent on this team, but yeah, it's hard to know the exact similarities unless you're with the team and in the locker room, and if you know the different dynamics of how the team's made up. But yeah, I'm sure they're very different.
People say that team went on a Cinderella run, the 06 team. In your mind, was it really? Did you guys surprise yourselves? Because you say there is a world-class talent in Connor McDavid, but you guys had Chris Pronger, arguably one of the best defensemen of all time. How did you kind of look at it, and how do you reflect upon what you guys were able to do? Because, people had a great time, and you guys came within one game of winning the Stanley Cup. How do you see it when you reflect?
When I reflect, I think it's a really good point because we were an 8th seed, but we weren't really an 8th seed. I think at the time, Kevin Lowe and Scott Housen, they put some pieces together that made us a really good team. Like we had that feeling that we were one of the best teams in the league. We were, arguably a goaltender away from being really good. And Rolly, when Rolly got here, he struggled a little bit, and then he got to be where, before he got hurt, he was probably the best goalie in the world for that month period of time. And obviously Prongs was arguably the best defenseman in the world at that time. And you forget about Ryan Smith had 36 goals that year. Rafi Torres had 27 goals.
That's right. Jared Stoll had a big season.
Stoll had 22 goals. Horkoff had 77 points. Hemsky had 70. So we were, and our bottom 6 forwards were deep. Obviously for now, you could list everybody, but we felt, and I think it was, Craig McTavish kind of installed that in us. He really believed we were going to beat Detroit, and it was really infectious. And the game plan that he put together, we believed what he was telling us. He really thought we were going to beat Detroit, and we knew that we were good. And it was the first round, but it was Detroit. They had 127 points.
That's right.
I mean, they had 8 guys with 20 goals. They were stacked, but we had that confidence from our coaching staff, and not just Mac T, but everybody, Billy Moores and Charlie Huddy and Craig Simpson and Pete Peters.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a confidence thing. It shows you how important confidence is.
What do you remember about the city during that time? Because I know you want to keep the outside noise and distractions out, especially when you're focused on making a Stanley Cup run, but that had to have been hard to ignore, to see what was going on White Avenue, to hear huge oil derricks that guys built are being left on players' front lawns. What was that whole energy like for you?
We didn't shy away from it. We embraced it. We loved it. I was kidding Fernando last night. We were like a baseball team. We celebrated after every series. So we were well aware of what was going on in the city, and we felt like they were a part of it, and I'm not just saying that. There was an energy to the city, and we brought that in our play, and we really used that. But even socially, I mean, we would go out in White Ave. It was a different era.
Right.
It's not that long ago, but we were able to enjoy it. We went out in the city. I think that was one of the special things about it is that we were visible and we were out there. And we were part of the community.
From the past to the present, what are you up to these days?
Yes, I'm moved back to where my wife's from. Ernell is from Niagara Falls, Ontario. We retired in Los Angeles, so my whole family, my kids are in high school there. I'm coaching at Niagara University, assistant coach there. I'm interviewing for the head job on Wednesday, so that's where I'm at.
Fair enough. And hockey brings you back to your second home. Welcome back, Ethan. Enjoy your time here.
I appreciate it. Thank you.